Hey guys, welcome back. We are on another ride video here, this time with the 83 XR200R. This one I've been itching to get back in the woods since I got it. Mainly for the fact because I had an 87. It was my first big bike. I think I was like 16 when I got that thing. It was 96. Had it from 96 to 99, then I got my XR400. So I had an 87, and when I saw this one pop up, it immediately made me think of that bike just because it's got the long travel suspension on it. And ProLink stuff that's on there. I didn't realize this bike comes with an 18-inch rear wheel, so I was pretty pumped about that because it gives you a little bit better selection of wheels, or tires I should say, over the 17 inches, which came on I think after 85, or maybe it was 80 after 84. I'll have to look that up, but this one has the 18-inch with the long travel suspension and the lights, so it immediately caught my attention when I saw it pop up. It was actually my friend that shot the ad over to me. Same morning I messaged the guy, and I was within a half hour of his house, so I was there pretty quick. So couldn't pass up this bike. Didn't need a whole lot to get going. If you followed the video of this getting resurrected, it was mainly a lot of cosmetic stuff. Even the carburetor was pretty clean. I went through everything though there just to make sure. The air box though was full of some remnants of a mouse net, so that definitely needed some attention. And we got that cleaned out, got a new air filter in there, and got some fuel to it, and it fired up pretty easily. It's like a typical XR quality. I did go through and I had to put a couple spokes on the rear wheel. It was missing one, and the other one, there was another one that was broken, so I just took care of both of those while I had the wheel off. Got the cam chain adjusted. You undo this nut here, and you loosen that up while the bike's running, and it'll automatically put some tension on the chain. And when I did that, it quieted up even more. Got the forks lowered back down to the line at the top. They were probably another, you can kind of see where they were right here. They were that far down originally, so you had this part like sticking way up. It was kind of weird. It did sit a little flatter because this bike does kind of ride strange with the front end being up a little higher. You got all that travel up front, and then the rear is really soft, so it kind of squats down in the back, and the front end feels like it's up a little bit. But just riding over to here, I got used to it pretty quick. So that might be why they lowered that down originally, or it could have been to accommodate a smaller rider possibly. But either way, we're gonna get this back on all my trails here today. Just kind of take it easy at first, and then we're gonna go over to the creek, hit some more technical stuff, make sure everything holds together. I went through and just double checked a lot of the nuts and bolts before I came down, and everything was good. So I think it's time to jump on, quit talking, and get some riding in. So I didn't adjust the valves just because the bike starts real easy, hot or cold. So I didn't bother adjusting that. They didn't sound real noisy or anything. I just did the cam chain adjustment there, like I said. And yeah, she starts up easy, runs nice, and like I said, when it's hot, it restarts easy too. So let's get rolling. We're just gonna hit this easy single track open flowy stuff here first, and then we're gonna go back towards the creek a little bit. Probably the easiest bike I've ever had to get going again. It was there was really not so much to it. Just clean that air box out really, and everything shifts nice. Just changed the oil. The oil wasn't that dirty, so really it was probably just sitting a little while in his garage, in the guy's garage that I bought it from. And you know, the mice made a little home in the air box, and I think he drained all the fuel out too. So it was an easy bike to get going. Yeah, well, coming back to me now. such great bikes in tight woods. Super lightweight. You know, they don't have a ton of top end power, but in this kind of stuff works really well. I think the only disadvantage you get is when you hit a big hill climb. It requires a lot of wheel spin or speed. Everywhere else, though, this bike's pretty amazing. Used to be able to hit some pretty gnarly stuff with my 87 back in the day. Once I get used to it with this, we'll try a couple hills. Little one there. Got to get used to these brakes. I'll try this in a second here. Plenty of torque. Got that fresh IRC on the back, the VE33. This thing hooks up great. Man, this is like riding on a marshmallow. Super plush. There's plenty of travel up front, so I'm hitting some of this stuff at a pretty decent rate. Soaking it up. Very comfortable bike. The seat's really soft. With the suspension, it's soft. Then you throw in how light it is. Front tire lofts nicely overstuffed. Nice bike. I'll keep this one a while. Around. Find neutral nice and easy. So far so good. My light's holding on. Bag's on. I think we're good to go. Let's head over towards some creek action and get to some more technical stuff a little bit, where this bike's really going to shine. Getting air. Riding this has really got me thinking I might want to try the vintage hair scrambles at Mid-Ohio this year if I can get up there early enough. The last XR200 I had was a 2002, which has the this, you know, the smaller suspension travel. They were more geared for beginners. I mean, this is still could be a beginner's bike, but you know, in the 80s they were a little bit more serious about making them enduro bikes, more of a contender enduro bike with this better suspension and everything. And the last bike I said like I had was that 2002, which was still a good bike. You could still whip that around, but not like you can with the ones with the better suspension on them, obviously. Tight wood so easy. You really forget about it until you ride it again. You know, you don't have blistering acceleration or anything, but in that tight stuff, I'm just leaning the bike over and it just turns so easy. Brakes aren't even that bad for being drum brakes. They're grabbing pretty good. Let's avoid the mud for now. Turns so well. These are the trails I grew up on riding that XR200, the 87. Like I said, it was my first real big bike. Trails are, we always said these trails are perfect for an XR200 just because they're fairly tight. You know, you really can't get a big bike opened up too much in back here. So, I mean, that doesn't stop people from bringing big bikes back, obviously. But this size bike with this kind of power delivery was just perfect. I'm cruising along in 4th gear right now, just whipping through the flowy stuff. Man, this bike just feels right back here. gear there. Probably 2,000 RPMs. Just tractoring through all that. Pretty impressive when you think about it. The suspension, I'm sure, is not completely blown out, because I do have actually some dampening left on the rear. The fronts still have some dampening up, but I did put some air in the front. I think I put like 7 psi up front. And you figure if the suspension was fresh, it would be even better, I think. The rear could probably use, recharge, because I don't think that's ever been off. I think the fronts were probably never revalved or anything either, I would assume. But yeah, with fresh suspension, revalved for just maybe a little bit heavier of a rider, like for me, might be perfect. I think I'm gonna have to take this bike on the hard-ish enduro loop that we got too back here. I kind of wanted to do this video first and just put it through its paces a little bit, make sure that it holds together, get a feel for the bike too. But I'm already very acquainted with it. All the memories from my 87 just came flooding back. So I think I'm going to do that hardish enduro loop sometime soon. We'll get this video done though first. Perfect trails for this right through here. Just slithering around. Basically, you just leave it in a gear and just ride through all that stuff. You never have to shift gears. You put it in second or third and it'll just crawl through all that with ease. Plenty of low end to just flip the throttle. Never have to clutch it. What's up, guys? ride it home on this bike. Having that 18 in the back's helping with some ground clearance over those bigger trees. Hesitation on some of the little quick bumps. I think the float might be getting a little out of whack on some of there. It's just kind of sputtering just for a second, but it's not hurting anything. One thing I noticed. Nobody's golfing today. Second gear is like everything. It'll do stuff from a crawl, from a dead stop almost. First gear is really, the only time you need that is if you're on like a side of a hill stock maybe, but second gear is just handling it everything right now for me. Let's see if it'll climb this. Second here. Yeah. Awesome. That's a pretty decent sized tree there. Hop right over it. Right down the creek a little bit. What's up, guys? something going on with the float over that rough stuff. If I'm going to race that, I'm going to have to address that, but it might just be the float that needs adjusted. Pretty sure the float valve had that little springy pin in the valve itself, which is supposed to keep that from happening. Well, I have to take another look. Those are thorn bushes. I'm not going in there. See how light this thing is? You can just kind of pick it up and move it almost. See if I could just right up here. Yeah. Not even getting any arm pump. Up in the 6th gear, no problem. Feels so good in this section of the woods. A little harsh feedback on the forks there when they're rebounding. Kind of sounds like it's hitting metal on metal a little bit there. Doesn't happen all the time. This thing seriously floats over those rock gardens. Can't even feel them. Second gear is just perfect through there. Alright, we got a decent climb here. Second gear again. clutch was slipping a little bit there. Nice bike. Doesn't beat you up. Doesn't try to rip your arms off. Great cruiser trail bike that will slither through that tight stuff, no problem. Get you through there pretty quick, actually. Well, guys, that was freaking awesome, I gotta say. It brought back all the memories I had from my 87. Like I said, the last XR I had was the 2002 model, and it doesn't have the same suspension as this. Didn't have the 18-inch rear wheel. This thing is blast back here on the tight trails. Even the flowy stuff, I was in 4th gear, and it just floated right along over a little trail junk like rocks, roots, little stuff. The bigger impacts, of course, I'm feeling it on the rebound on the forks. I can feel probably down in here. You know, when it's rebounding, it's smacking up against the end there, so it's kind of, you hear like a clunk. It's not horrible sounding, but it's probably not great to be doing that constantly. So, like I said, I didn't even open these up or even change the oil for that much in these. It just felt okay pushing down. I put air in there, it's holding air. So, probably do an oil change on there, see if that helps with that. I probably should have done that before bringing it up, but I was just been anxious to get it out. So that's my excuse on why I neglected to do the fork oil. The rear actually didn't bottom out on me, surprisingly. I didn't try jumping it, of course, but some of the bigger impacts, I didn't feel it bottoming out at all. If it did, it hit the bump stop and I didn't even feel it. So surprisingly, I was expecting the rears to be bottoming a lot, but they didn't, so that worked out good. Probably gonna have to do a clutch on here at some point. It was slipping a little bit, I noticed. Mainly at first, really in the 4th and 5th gears. I only got in the 6th on that gravel road. But the 4th and 5th gears, and I was in the open spots, and I cracked the throttle open, I can kind of hear it revving up and not really going any faster. So I think that's slipping there. I had to slip a little bit in 2nd gear when I came up that really rooted hill. I kind of gave it a fistful throttle at the bottom, and I felt the revs climb, and the bike just didn't really move as much as it should have. Obviously, because it's slipping. So I think partially is, due to the excess traction we got now with these tires. It's biting in and getting really good traction, so it's just overwhelming the clutch, which I'm sure the springs and the plates are probably original to this bike. I don't think much was done to this thing. I think it's the original front tire on here still. It's a Changshin, I believe. It's pretty dry rotten, but I figured, again, I just wanted to get in the woods and not worry about changing the front tire out either. I'll probably do that before I race it, though, if I do the vintage hair scrambles with it. But hope you enjoyed that ride, guys. Like I said, I'm going to do the probably the 10-mile hardish enduro loop that I've got back here. I did some of that stuff on it today, little bits and pieces here and there, but the harder stuff, I'm going to wait probably until I get a good front tire on there, maybe change the oil on the forks, and possibly the clutch if it gets worse. So I'll be sure to give you guys a heads up when that's going to come out. But I hope you enjoyed the ride. If you're still with me, thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, you like this kind of stuff, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like, leave me some comments. I appreciate it. It goes a long way in helping the channel, guys. So we'll see you in the next video.